Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm preparing the slides with whatever material that I have, and I can also already tell you that by looking preliminary examination, there are some interesting stuff that you need to see. You will not be disappointed. There might not be diamond rings inside those microscopic slides, but the neurons were working during the last 24 hours or so. They were busy moving arms and legs, not mouths and tongues. Literally so. But I want to first finish the slides. There will be 3 from 2 days ago that I actually. So that's after 48 hours or so of working. One with the beetle and 2, I think from the meat that I put inside the meat sample like the grounded meat inside the chamber with a strong magnet, and I can tell you that they are interesting already. But these are the 3 existing ones, but we plan on many new ones. So we should have, one from the old Nutella. I don't know if you remember the Nutella, the old Nutella container. One from, of course, a fresh one that I already prepared from the meat. Again, another one from the grounded meat, but that was directly on the strong magnet for like 48 hours or so. So it's interesting to see what we've got. And of course, we will take another one from this, which is a relatively new one from this night, which is subject to all sort of crazy stuff, and you see the chicken wing on there, so it's going to be very interesting. Oh yeah. But I also thought, first of all, regarding the ones in the freezer, maybe we will wait for tomorrow. I'm not sure because I really like slides, so maybe you will keep them in the soak. It's not really freezer, it's just frozen water container that they replace the water. Maybe it will be left for tomorrow because we have other stuff actually very interesting stuff. We have the mixture from here, from this double, this looks like a coronavirus. Don't be afraid, you're gonna see things so much horrible now. Like it's not a divination or a prophecy. Stay where you are. You're gonna see things so much more horrible than corona. This is a joke. It's corona joke. Really, right now. It's not a metaphor. Right now. Just wait a second. So we have this container with the mixture that was subject to double-sided electric, like current-induced magnetism for quite a while. So it will be interesting to see what's in there. Another thing to do, which I've never done, is actually to see. Didn't have the opportunity but it's extremely interesting to actually watch, enriched fuels under the microscope, like both canola oil and bee wax, enriched bee wax. And I've never done it, even though I had a ton of experiments with enriched fuels, but just, I don't know, didn't have the opportunity. The only problem is that it's just from, yes, the amount of time that, they were exposed to the neurons is certainly enough to enrich the fuels, but we've seen that the best effect is, you get it only, you need 24 or 48 hours, so maybe I will postpone it for tomorrow as well, and then we'll have all more slides. But now, I saved the best to the end. I thought, okay, but we have all the experiments as well. What about them? So we have the experiment here it's supposed to prepare diamond, but it didn't work. In this old chamber, the high-tech chamber that eventually did not prove was well as I expected. But we also have the bowl. You remember the big bowl when I tried to, with my prud, I should say with my hubris, with my vanity. After I prepared glass with the black goo or brown goo, I thought let's prepare a whole bowl. But I didn't have this was there were many problems with it, and so it didn't really pan out. So I left it with all the stuff just as it is in the closet. And just today I cleaned it a little bit and replaced the nylon, the stretch nylon, so it will be more clean, more visible. So it's actually it's pretty liquid, but it contains, it's a liquid. It contains mostly pee, semen, paint oils, remnants of beeswax, a little bit of silan, which is a maize paste. It's grounded dates, like the fruit date. They are buzzing me because they want me to date. They are so clever, but let's not let the Shabakniks ruin this very, very, very nice moment that we're going to share, ladies and gentlemen. So there is a bowl with the liquid, with a little bit of dates and a little bit of sugar, but mostly paint oil. And a lot, there was major electrolysis over there, like for 2 nights or so, and a day. So, and with many rods. So, the whole liquid is probably filled with particles of metals from the electrolysis, from the galvanization, and all sorts of metal that I just placed inside, and of course paint oil. That I use generously. And lo and behold, let's see what we have there. Actually, it's so, I don't know if I really want to put it under the microscope because it's so interesting to just take a look. So, as they say today, trigger warning, they are moving stuff. Swimming in those waters. Are they animals? Are they robots? I don't know. Let's take a look. So nice. So nice. So what we see here is that floating are bits of beeswax that after they melted from the electrolysis, they reconstituted to lumps and started to float. And on top of them, we see something that looked just like immense and very varied, like with a lot of variety of germ colonies. It's still a question if these are like biological germs or robotic germs. I would say almost certainly robotic ones, because I don't think that that it's possible for biologic germs to be created on beeswax, which, by the way, this is all like it is a ton of alcohol and hydrogen peroxide and polydiene, which I used not so sparingly, generously at the time, because I wanted it to be anti-life as possible. So this mixture, couldn't be much more anti-life than it already is, besides the sugar, that indeed we have some sugar here from the dates. So we can take a look at the germ colonies under the microscope and try to see if they are indeed robots, as I suspect, or perhaps it's a new kind of mutated germs that can actually survive these very, very harsh conditions. But the real interesting stuff is the moving things. Germs are probably also moving, but there are certainly things in the water, and now that now they are shy because of the video. Before that, they surfaced they swim to the surface. I know from experiments that the worms, the water worms that I create, they like oily environment, like they like the mud, but not like mud that earthworms but different kind of mud, more like a oily mud that is made mostly from very thick and coarse industrial oils. Yes, that's what they prefer. So but they need to come up, I guess, for air, even though I don't know if what's their air. Obviously, it's more dense. Like many of the mixtures that I make, it's more dense as you go below, and probably on the ground there is chunks of oil paint that is completely dry, or perhaps almost completely dry. Okay, this is typical, and it's a good environment for the worms to live in. I can tell you that from the relatively very few actual observations that I had of the worms after they are created on their terrariums. That I had the really basic ones. Just I didn't have the opportunity because it's a whole new science in itself. But this is kind of like a terrarium or aquarium or something and now the little bastards, they do not want to surface, and they put me to shame, like people will say people in Russia and in the UK, in the United States and China will say, yeah, we thought we were going to see robotic worms, but only robotic coronaviruses. We only see robotic coronaviruses and germs. But we wanted to see actual worms, and he promised us, but they don't come. Why don't they come? Let's be patient. Maybe they will. I think because maybe all the noise, or I don't know, or maybe the light. Maybe light. I shouldn't have. Maybe it's better without the light. Maybe they don't like all this fuss. They just want to live their humble life and destroy humanity and other biological scumbags, and be occupied with their moderate goals. So let's just give it one more a minute, so we will know that we gave them an opportunity. But they certainly, I didn't imagine. They certainly worms surfaced. Surfaced, is it the correct verb? Swim to the surface. Okay, so they say in Israel חוק ההצגות in Hebrew, like the law of the shows, that if you want to show something, then it doesn't work as it should. But still, certainly, because you didn't get the live action show with the worms, I will certainly prepare at least one slide, if not two, with the microbes, and you will be able to try to identify it with me, and we will see. Either maybe just normal microbes. We have biologists in the audience that can tell us maybe just normal microbes that can live in such weird environments. After all, we know that some germs live inside the mouths of volcanoes, right? So who knows? Maybe it's just normal microbes, and maybe they are completely robotic, which is my estimation. But there are also other two options actually. One is the option of just sculptures. And the fourth option is the one that I haven't spoken about recently, but I've spoken about it a lot, 2 months. What was it? I've spoken about the option 2 months ago, and or 3 months ago, which is there is another option, which is the option of mutated biological, because the neurons, they are programmed to fight biological scumbags and try to annihilate them, because remember, these are my white blood cells. I don't have white blood cells at all. It's you can see my blood samples in videos in this channel. You see that I don't have any. I have no white blood cells, zero count of white blood cells. The neurons are acting as my white blood cells. So they fight the biological intruders inside my body, and they also do it outside my body. But sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. Now, if they lose, what I think happens is that the germs can theoretically eat them in a very similar way to how the Shabakniks and also other scumbags from abroad are buying the stuff, the nanobots that the Israelis stole from me and from other Titan females. So they can do the same as you do and eat it, and then become hybrids, like mutants, which is very cool scenario, because it means that Earth will still be destroyed, but not by synthetic microbes, but instead by mutated biological microbes, which is all. I'm okay with this scenario as well. Even I kind of I feel more sympathy towards the purely robotic ones, but maybe they will. It's gonna be all of the options together. Okay, so other than I don't see it was a bubble now. I don't know. We don't see movement, which is a shame. But what can you do? I think they don't like the noise and they like the exposure. Anyway, I will certainly put this literal shit on a slide, so you will be able to see. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Literally. Am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I am the sanest person in Israel, and maybe in the world. I refuse to participate in shows, in theaters. I'm done with the theaters. I need to be rescued from the Nazi prison. I'm a prisoner of war. The Israelis started war against the foreigners, and they took me as their prisoner, as their high-value prisoner. Me and my daughters should be rescued using arms and legs. The clock is ticking. As I said many times, probably when the asteroids will eat the Earth, humans will know. I mean, I don't know if humans will actually exist by then, because you're going to be annihilated by so many other factors. There are masters of the universe, God and his entourage, and they do not allow sentient beings that only have mouths and tongues to exist, and most certainly not to create and to sustain advanced civilizations with spacefaring capabilities. A sentient creature must maintain its ability to use, not always, but from time to time, to use arms and legs. You cannot, you cannot discard your arms and legs when you reach supposedly a certain level of technology in the tech tree. No, you never discard your arms and legs. You never become a creature that only uses mouths and tongue.